Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to create that best workflow when you're tuning your own photos in Midjourney. And as you can see right now, I am currently inside the Discord application, more specifically inside Midjourney. Now before I get started right here, I want you to let you know that this process is applicable for all devices, such as MacBook, Apple devices, iOS, Windows, Android. Please stay in the video and watch till the end. Now that being said, for this one, we're gonna specifically follow the steps I have made for you guys. So we have step 1 to 8, there are 8 steps in total. And if you want to post a video and copy these notes, please do so, but I'm gonna take you one step at a time and we're gonna discuss them as we move on. So step 1, we're gonna include the aspect ratio. That is the step 1. So how can we do that? Basically, if we want gonna go to tuning, of course, we are not gonna use the command create or imagine. Rather, we're gonna focus on tune. Okay? So tune from right there, this is gonna be the command. Because by default, we're using the imagine, right? We're not gonna use that, guys. So for this one, I'm gonna use the prompt I made earlier, Rough Sketch Manga AR 16:9. So the first step I wanna impose or let you know that is that make sure you use this command at the very last part of your prompt. It's gonna be dash dash. Make sure you include the dash, okay? So dash just AR 16:9. AR means aspect ratio. And then this number right here is basically by your own preference. If you wanna use, for posters, I think that's gonna be 3:2 or 2:3. But for me, I am gonna use 16:9. Basically enter it and then wait for the prompt to show up. So Midjourney is saying that we have already tried this out. So that's step 1, AR 16:9. Let's move on to step 2, which is going to be default raw or tune. So when I say default mode or raw mode, basically this is the one I'm talking about. So make sure, just to remove confusion, they're basically the same, but the majority of people are using default. So again, this is by your own preference, again, by your own choosing, but to avoid confusion, raw mode sometimes gives out default mode, but if you choose default mode, it will never give out raw mode. So I just suggest go for default mode altogether. And then for style directions, this is gonna be step 3. Step 3 is make sure you just choose 16 style directions. You may ask why? Because this is much more better. It doesn't mean 128 style directions. This is much more, a lot, like there's plenty of style, right? It is, but it's much more complicated. There is not enough accuracy regarding the prompt to image, rather than the 16 style directions. So please choose 16 style directions. So once I submit this one, it will give me out this prompts right here. So let's submit it. So are you sure? Cost 0.15 fast hours GPU credits, of course I'm sure. And then it will give out this specific links. So since I already made this before, we can just copy these links right there and then open up a browser. Paste it in the browser and then you'll be directed on this landing page. So these are the tuning styles. You might be confused. How come we're not in Midjourney? So Midjourney doesn't have that specific edit platform regarding tuning. It will give you a specific tablet or rather tab in the browser for you to choose from. So with this one, you're gonna have choice right here. Again, this is your prompt, Rough Sketch Manga AR 16:9. And then you can choose by 2 right there, compare 2 styles at a time. Of course, these are the 2 styles. Or pick your favorite from Big Grid. I'm gonna choose this one right here and look for my favorite. So with this one, I think I still don't have a favorite here. But for now, I'm gonna go with this guy right there, just for discussion purposes, and click on this copy button. Why did I click that? Because that is the next step, which is testing our style. So go back to Discord and then simply try it out. Now with this one, we're not gonna click tune anymore because we're trying it out. Let's move on to imagine. Okay? So with that one, that's gonna be our prompt. Let's click on enter. We're just gonna check if it's perfectly the same as the one before. That one right there. So let me just go back to the browser, and then make sure we have this sample. Save image. I'm just gonna go to desktop. I think it's not allowing me to save because this is from another creator. However, let me just do something here so we have a sample for you to have a comparison with, okay? So let's just leave it as that and get back to Discord. So I think mine will take around 2 minutes to 5. I think it will not anyway, but that is gonna be it. It's 78%. Let's check and think it's done. So this is gonna be my prompt right here. So before, let's just compare, pull it up. This is the style I got. So since I've choose default mode, this is the one we got right now. It's perfectly fine. Because I think this one right here is by raw, which is not pretty good, right? Before is raw. So with this one, I'm gonna choose, for example, this specific guy right there. Okay? Now, an additional step for you guys, this specific prompt right here. Okay? So again, let me just copy my prompt again because I want to show you guys this specific process. If you want to compare two prompts at the same time, this is what we call the multi-prompting, or personally I call it that. So imagine and then enter the prompt. Now for this one, we need the subject. This is subject by default, right? For example, let's just say Superman. Now Superman will be our subject. However, Discord, or rather Midjourney, will only give us one specific sample. If you want to compare two, this is what you're gonna do. Put that column right there. Make sure you enclose your specific prompt, and then input that comma over there. Okay? Simply click on enter and wait for your prompt to load out. So as you can see right there, are you sure you want to imagine two prompts for the template? Simply click on yes. Now if you click on yes right there, Midjourney will now prompt those two images for you guys and wait for it to load up, okay? And I'll get back to you once it's done. So hello there, welcome back. The two prompts we have earlier have just finished generating. So these are the two. As you can, the first one is much more intense. Superman with this, much like an animated manga style, versus this one's like a more cartoonic design, right? So this is how you compare two prompts with that specific command I gave you. Okay? So moving on, let's move on to step 5, shortcuts. So for this one, this is the specific command. Type in prefer options. Let's try it out. And then prefer option set or list. This is going to be your option. So we're going to click on set because list is the one if we have a set already. So set right there. So option, name your option first. Let's just say sample 1. And then with this one, click on the value. Now this is going to be our prompt. Just copy this one. Okay. If you're satisfied with this one, of course, then simply click on enter. We've just saved that prompt. That's how you save a prompt. Okay, that's how you get it. Now moving on to the next step, let me just erase these steps right here if you copied it properly. If not, go back to the first part of the video and copy them. So with this one, next one, add styling values, increase S value right there with this specific prompt. So let's just copy our prompt again one more time to uncompose or highlight this specific instruction. So with this one, copy it all the way and then type imagine again, of course. Now on my sample, it says increase the S value, or rather the style value, which is this one. Now to have more examples, you can use this specific parenthesis, much like so, and then click on enter. Because if you don't have that parenthesis and only have one number, you'll only have one sample. If you want to have multiple, do so as the one I'm doing right now and simply click on enter. And as you can see right there, are you sure you want to imagine 4 prompts? If you want to click on go, click on yes, but if you want to edit it, of course edit template right there. And then, of course, remove a few if you just want to use 2. Basically, that's how you do it. And then click on submit. I'm just going to go from 2 now. And then it's going to ask again, are you sure you want to proceed with 2? Of course, click on yes. And then Midjourney will just go on and prompting our 2 prompts. And then I'll get back to you once done, okay? So hello there, welcome back. And this is gonna be the two prompts we got earlier. So first one is this one, and then the second one would be the one from above. And that being said, that's how you use that additional style command, okay? So moving on to the step 7, let me just remove step 6 right there, add more chaos. So when I say add more chaos, that doesn't mean violence. It's a specific term in Midjourney called chaos, and this is going to be the command. Let's try it out. Again, we're just going to use the prompt we had earlier. So we can just have a specific understanding on how this process goes through. So again, of course, click imagine right there, paste the prompt, and then with this one, another dash right there and click on C. Now by default, it will be 0. You can put 0 to 10, 0 to 100, but with chaos, I don't suggest doing that. Because if you input 100 chaos, it will ruin the whole image. Let's just add a little bit more, but with default, I'm gonna click on 0. Click on enter. And then as you can see right there, invalid parameter, expected the value argument under chaos. So they've changed the default now, so they're asking for a value. Let's try it out one more time. Again, with chaos -z, I'm gonna put 20 right now, and let's see how it works. And I'm gonna get back to you once it's done, okay? So hello there, welcome back. And this is gonna be our new prompt right now, once we added chaos. And as you can see from the color for before, let me just go back. The one before versus the one we have right now. Let me just see it right there. Again, this is gonna be it. These two right here, they're very colorful, right? Especially this one right here. This doesn't have chaos. So if we included chaos, this is gonna be our new image. Okay? Now that being said, let's move on to the bonus step, or basically the last step, step 8. With this one, it's gonna be moving your style from default to raw. Remember the first part I just said go from default. But if you want to still use raw, of course, you might do so by simply copying the command, of course. Let me just go right there. And then typing imagine, pasting the prompt. Now with this one, after just world style, simply put on raw. Easy as that. Click on enter. Basically, that's how you're going to do it. And as you can see right there, invalid parameter, because we need a specific prompt after this one. We don't need that word right there. Again, let's just imagine. Click on prompt and then remove this tile. We don't need that just yet. Now that being said, type in raw and I'll get back to you once it's done, okay? So hello there. Our image is just finished generating and this is going to be the style raw. I'm just going to pull up the style default that I have right here for comparison. And remember I said there's not much difference, but a little bit more leaning on the default because this is how it looks like. So by comparing each other, this is much more cartoonic and this is much more animated, it's much more professional, the one that has default. Okay, so again with this one, it's by your own perspective. I'm not gonna hold it back with you guys. It's your choice if you want to use raw or default. Anyway, those are the steps that you need to take note of proceeding on this process, and thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Goodbye for now.